Hi folks, this is John Kranz, product owner for Dealer Center. I'm here to tell you about a massive update to our performance reports. We believe these will save you a ton of time analyzing your inventory's performance and merchandising. Let's take a look. Clicking on Reports in the nav bar reveals your new performance dashboard. This is your at-a-glance breakdown of how your inventory is performing in our marketplace. It defaults to the last 90 days, but you can change the date range to whatever you prefer. Along the top here is where the story of how your inventory is performing on our marketplace. First is search results impressions, which indicates exposure. The number here indicates exactly how many times all of your listings appeared in front of users on the search results screen. In our marketplace, if a user clicks on one of those listings in search results, they're taken to the Vehicle Listing Detail page, VDP for short. We consider this action to be a significant sign of consumer interest. This number here indicates how many Vehicle Listing Detail pages of your inventory were viewed. When a user is interested in a vehicle, they typically want to know a bit more about the dealer, so this number here is how many users viewed your online dealer gallery or dealer showroom in our marketplace. And lastly, here are your connections. Connections is the term we use to illustrate how people contacted your dealership. This number here is the total number of connections you received over the last 90 days. Connections are how prospective customers contacted you. How many emails were sent, phone calls made, chats initiated, printed directions to your dealership, or clicked over to your website from our marketplace. The second row shows you the numbers for each type of connection, as well as a visualization of those numbers by date. Hovering over the chart reveals a rundown of each metric for that particular day, as well as how much of your inventory was on our marketplace at the time. Clicking Inventory here reveals a line chart of your inventory by day as well. The third row is a brief synopsis of other ways that prospective customers interacted with your inventory. And this last row is all about how well your inventory is being merchandised in our marketplace. Here you'll find a breakdown of the new and used vehicles in your inventory and how many of those listings have a price or no price, and whether they have photos or not. If your listings inventory contains more than one type of class or vehicle, you can select one, and the results for that type of class will show up. So how does any of that merchandising affect how my inventory is seen in our marketplaces? Well, let's find out. Click the Exposure and Activity link on the left here, reveals the Exposure and Activity reports. And here you're going to discover how the various types of merchandising we offer affects the exposure and performance of your listings. This overview shows you the search results impressions and VDPs of all the listings in your inventory, with the top 10 appearing in these charts here and the full list in this data table here. Now the top listings are shown by default, but if you prefer to view total impressions and VDP page views by date, simply click here. You can view similar reports for listings that do or do not have a price, or photos, or have a condition, or even a description. All of these merchandising factors play an important role in how users will be compelled to view your listings in our marketplace. Also, if you want to change the time frame, you can do so here, and you can also print this screen or download a CSV containing the raw data as well. Let's look at a particular listing for a moment. Here's an example of a vehicle that's performing pretty well. Click the Year, Make, Model link and it'll open what we call the Listing Health screen. And the Listing Health screen is a scorecard for a specific listing in your inventory. And this is where you're going to see how the unit has been performing in our marketplace. In this row, you can see the performance metrics of this listing include total search impressions, VDPs, additional activity and connections. And here's a quick rundown of the conversion score for this particular unit, as well as day-by-day visualization of search impressions and VDPs for this particular unit. And down here is a sortable data table displaying the entire performance history of this listing while it was in our marketplace. If you want to give this listing a boost, you can add enhancements on the fly by clicking one of these switches here, and then come back to your Listing Health screen to see how it impacted your performance. You can edit, print, or view the listing in the marketplace as well. The Listing Health screen is a great way to discover what areas of a listing can be improved and see how those improvements affect performance. We think the Listing Health and Exposure and Activity reports will reveal insights you may have been unable to find in the past, and we're pretty excited about it, and hope you will be too. Oh, and one last thing. When we launched our new reports, we wanted to introduce a genuine first in the industry, something that, from what we can tell, has never been done before, and it stems from a simple question. How am I doing? What is happening in my market? What makes and models being sold by anyone in my market are people most interested in? What vehicles do people interact with the most? What year, make, model generated the most connections in my market? Well, it turns out there's never been a place where dealers were able to answer these questions until now. This is Market Insights. This is not just your inventory. It's performance data from every seller in your market. It's your market snapshot. You can see what vehicles people are most interested in your market. This is the top 10 list here and a full list ranking of the top 50 vehicles in your market. Each vehicle includes the top 3 model years, most popular shown first, of that unit, how many page views it generated, and how many are currently available in your market. If you want to see what's happening nationwide, click here on the left rail, and you can filter by a number of additional variables as well. We also have a report to learn about what vehicles in your market and nationwide get the most activity by users. And lastly, we are now able to share with you what vehicles have been driving the most connections in your market and nationwide. Now that really is the last thing. Please take a look around. And if you want to return to the original reports, there's a link to it here in the top bar for a little while longer while we remain in beta. We are very excited by these new features, and we hope that you will too. The new Dealer Center reports. Turn our insight into your action.